Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And in this video, we are going to cover retention labels. Before we proceed and create a retention label, let me clarify a few things or differences between retention policies or retention labels. So, retention policies are used on a large scale wherein we want to retain the complete site collection, the complete libraries and list items, etc., etc. Wherein retention label comes in handy, wherein you want to retain specific set of documents. Maybe you want to apply retention labels on particular documents, and maybe you want to retain particular folders. Then you can go ahead and apply retention labels on those particular folders or files, and then again, process will remain same. You can decide what you want to do after the retention period is over. You want to move it to a different location, you want to delete it, or you just want that it should be like that only. No action be done with that particular item. This is the main difference between the retention labels and retention policies. Okay, so let's get into the action. Let's go ahead and create one of the test retention label. Okay, in order to create retention label, we'll need to navigate to Microsoft Purview portal. Okay, this is pretty much simple. You just need to click on compliance. The compliance portal is now renamed to Microsoft Purview portal. Okay, this portal is pretty much new. And again, if you want to go to retention labels, you need to go to data lifecycle management and then policies. Okay, and here you can also see the retention labels. You can create retention label from here. All right, or else there is another simple way. Just click on search and type retention. The moment you click on retention, the moment you type retention, you will be able to see the very first option which says retention labels. Just click on it and you will be navigated to this same place itself. All right. Now, our main task is to create the label. Okay. So I will just click on create. And again, guys, just make sure that after you create a retention label, you need to publish it as well so that you can use that on libraries or list or wherever you want to use it. Okay, so it's very important that you publish the label. So for testing purposes, let's create the label. Okay, let's give it this name, test label. I will just click on next. Okay, on this page, you can decide what label setting you want to do. So the very first one is retain item forever for a specific time period. So you can decide whether you want to retain the document for the whole duration till the tenant exists, or you just want it to be retained for like 5 years or 7 years or maybe 1 or 2 years. You can decide. So if you just click on next, you will have ample of options to decide. Like I want to retain it for 7 years only, okay? And retain labels. The label should be applied basis upon the time of creation, okay? Or else you can always decide what action you want to perform. Like it should be last modified or created or one item was labeled. So you can decide. I will go with the default one, which is a created one. Okay, I'll hit next, and now you can decide what you want. That you want the item to be deleted, and you want to review the item, and then you want to decide what needs to be done with this document, or else you just want that after this set of period, change label to a different label. Okay, or else you can also decide if you want to run a flow on this, but you need to create one flow and then you will have to add the flow here. Okay, and deactivate retention set. It means that once the time period is over, label will be removed. Okay, and the document will become a normal document, right? So once you are okay with the settings, once you are done with the required choice, then you can select it and click on next. Okay, and I clicked on create label after finishing all those things. Okay, now, there was one other option which was there. Okay, we will just publish it as well, but let's go back one step. Okay, we can always go back to the labels and publish it. Sorry, let's go to retention labels, which we just created. There was one setting which we were looking at. Let's go back to that settings. Let's hit next. Okay, this one, enforce action after a specific time period. Okay, we were looking into that particular setting, but let's see. I need to create another one because I uh, clicked on publish and everything. So let's click on labels once again. Let's quickly go ahead and go to that setting. Okay, test. I just want to show you the difference between those two settings. Okay, now if I click on this one, enforce action after a specific time, it's just that it is just a smaller version of the first setting, which allows us to run flow, delete the item, or just remove the retention settings, or change the label. So those settings were there, but in this one, we only have one setting or two second, which is delete item automatically and change the label. So these two settings are there. Rest, it's everything was there in the first setting itself. Okay, so you can see that it's all, I mean, I would recommend to go with this one because in here we get very much large number of options here. All right, so this is just the basic difference between the settings. Now let's go back to the retention labels, and we just created one label, but we want to publish it as well. All right, so let's go here, and this one, okay, we'll have to publish it. So now I will just select this label, or else I can just go to publish labels. It will ask me to choose the label which you want to publish. So this is the label which I want to publish. I will click on add, next. Okay, you can always skip this policy scope and everything. This is not recommended, or I would not ask you to do, because this is an advanced settings for admins only. And the next one is adaptive or static. Adaptives, whether you want to apply it for specific areas or you want to be applied by specific properties. So you can select adaptive. Otherwise, you can always go for static. I always go for statics. Okay. And I have the privilege here whether you want it to be apply on multiple locations or whether you want it to be apply on SharePoint itself. Okay. I can just click on SharePoint Classic and Communication site. If I want to apply it on all sites, then I can do that. Otherwise, I can just go ahead and select the site. I will click on next. Okay. And then I need to give a pub label to this published label, name to this published label. Well, I can just give it a same name. Okay. Label underscore publish. Next, right? So again, so once you publish a label, it can take around 40 to 24 hours depending upon the size of the tenant. My tenant size is pretty much small, so it should be applied within 24 hours. However, it can take up to 7 days or an approx 1 week as well, depending upon the tenant size. Okay, so I will just click on submit. So the moment I click on submit, the label will be published and I will be able to see this published label on the published label section. Okay. And after 24 hours, I will be able to use this label. Okay. I will hit on done. Okay. And let's just wait for a couple of seconds here. It's loading up. Okay. So this label is opened up now. Okay, you can see that there are two labels, and if you want to see the label which is already published, so you can always go to this label policies, and in here you will be able to see the published label. So right now you can see that there are two labels I have published. Okay, so next, in the next video, I will show you how you can apply retention label to documents, and also we'll see how the retention policy works on a SharePoint site. Okay, so see you in the next video. Till then, happy learning and goodbye. And please follow, like, comment, and share, subscribe to my channel. Drop your issues or doubts in the comment section, and I'm happy to answer them. So see you in the next video. Till then, happy learning. Goodbye.